So yeah, this is not gonna be a long video, but yeah, I'm not too crazy about JID's music. I'm not really checking for this album personally. You know what I'm saying? And this is nothing against JID. Like I said, he's a nice rapper. But I feel like a lot of people be putting him on a pedestal. You even have some people try to put him on the same level as Kendrick Lamar. And I don't know what drugs you guys are on, but Kendrick Lamar is 10 times better. And yes, I've used to listen to JID's music back in the days, you know, especially albums like DiCaprio 2, The Never Story, DiCaprio 1. In my opinion, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think DiCaprio 2 is JID's best album. A lot of people will say The Forever Story. And yeah, I've heard The Forever Story. You see it on my phone. This is the last song, 2007. I've heard the album. It's a good album. But I wouldn't go that far to say it's a masterpiece like how a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are trying to act like the album was such a masterpiece and it was just the greatest album since Jesus. And it's just like, it's a good album, but it's nothing. It's not groundbreaking. It's not a Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers. You even had some people going around here trying to put that album on the same level as Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And it's just like, no. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a 10 times better album than that album. And you know what's crazy? Both of those albums are introspective. You know, when it comes to storytelling, traumas, and being vulnerable. But Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was just executed better. It was more creative. It was more interesting. The production was better. Kendrick Lamar was just more creative than JID, you know, and that's the problem I have with JID. Like, a lot of times, and this is, I notice a pattern with his music. A lot of times he tends to play it safe. He tends to make his music, you know, a little bit more accessible, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's just like, the production sometimes can be a little sleepy, you know. And that's how I felt about The Forever Story. Because, like, when I was listening to the album, the first half was good. You know, the first 7 songs on that album was hard. I'm like, okay, yeah, this album is good so far. Then once it got to the song with Lil Durk, that's when the quality just kind of dipped. Then you got all these little ass unnecessary filler. The production was kind of sleepy. And, you know, I noticed a pattern with JID. He tends to kind of play it safe. You know, he doesn't really like take it there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with being lyrical, but what people don't understand when it comes to making music, like, you gotta have a production that's like next level. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about being lyrical and having good message. Yeah, you can be lyrical and have good messages in your songs, but if your production is like not on some next level shit, then it's a nothing burger. And I know a lot of times with me, a lot of people think, oh, you just saying that shit because you listen to experimental music. Nah, that's not the case. I like everything, not just experimental music. I mean, and plus, and then another thing too about JID, The Forever Story, I feel like I've heard albums like that before. You know what I'm saying? I've heard albums that were very, very similar to JID's album, if not, I don't know, better. Or executed better. But it's crazy how people try to put that album on the same level as Mr. Morale. And I'm just going to come out and say, I feel like a lot of these niggas who do that shit, they secretly hate Kendrick Lamar. So if they favorite rapper, and I've seen this a pattern with Joey Badass fans, you know, they'll try to put certain artists that's not on the that's not getting the shine that Kendrick is getting, and they try to downplay Kendrick Lamar by saying he's overrated, or they'll try to say this rapper is better, and it's just like, nah, you just don't like Kendrick Lamar, and so you try to like diminish and downplay Kendrick, cause like I said, JID is a nice rapper, but he's not like he's not up there like people trying to make it. Like, his only classic album to me is DiCaprio 2. And this is not to say the Forever Story isn't good. It's just, it's not a masterpiece like people trying to say. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just not too crazy about this new album. I'm not saying that I would never check it out. I would probably check it out eventually, like, when I ain't doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? When, when I'm bored and I'm like, I want to listen to some music, like, I'll check it out. But I'm not caring to check this shit out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel, about JID's music. Like I said, he's a nice rapper, but he's not as crazy like people be trying to say. Yeah, that's really about it. And also too, JID, I don't know if I've seen a lot of people say this shit, but I feel like JID need to get the fuck away from Dreamville, because the way they handling his rollouts. I saw Jalopy talked about this shit on his channel. Shout out to him. The way that they are handling his album, what's it called? God Does Like Ugly. Y'all see this shit on the screen. It's on my Apple Music shit. But like, the way they handling his album, he need to get the fuck away from Dreamville. He need to get the fuck away from J. Cole's label, because the way they doing his album, they're not doing his album justice. Like, it's not no good. It's not no, like that's the thing, bro. If you got a nigga like JID, right, that's dropping his new album, like, look what Clips did with they rollout, right? Like, Clips is not even, I won't say that they don't have, like, their music is not big, but they're not like as big as like a Drake or as like a Kendrick Lamar, or like, what's another artist that I can use as an example as like their music is good, but they have like a loyal fan base? Beyonce. Their music is not like on that type of level as far as like popularity, but they made the album important. They made you care about the album. Like, the way they did they rollout, because a lot of people think that, Pusha T built his rollout of this and Travis Scott. Like, that was one of the ice in the cake. But how they did the rollout, they promoted the album. They went to different interviews. They did a lot of interviews with the album. They went to different stations, different podcasts, or different people to interview talking about their album. Like, the way they did it, they, like, Clips, Pharrell, they made you care about the album. Then on top of that, the production was good. The album was good. The features was good. The album overall was just a good project. They made you gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Another rollout, Freddie Gibbs album with Alchemist, Alfredo 2. That's a good rollout. They did promotions to it. They did a short film, if I recall, a short film of the album. And I believe the album is also doing very well in terms of numbers and shit. So, like, the way they doing this album rollout for this album, JID need to get the fuck away from Dreamville. But that's all I gotta say. Peace.